Hey guys, welcome back to another video of making a React Native app. So in the previous video we created a provider component. Inside of that has our store, and our within that is our state and our dispatch, and that's how we're going to manage our data. So as you can see, this method here is essentially the brains which will decide on where to put the data, and we're going to use this dispatch method to call it constantly throughout the app, and then state will store that, and then every time we need to access the state we can just access that within the app. So go to app.js. You see we've got main here. Let's go ahead and we can copy that, backspace it, and once we do that we'll need to provide the provider just like that, and then we can put main back in. So let's go ahead and import our provider. So import provider from /provider, and this is our app.js class. We do not need to modify this anymore. This is all of it. So I can go ahead and save that and it'll run like that. That's fine. So we can close app.js. We don't need to touch that anymore. We can close types for now and provider. So you're probably wondering, right, how do we access it now? So we're going to access it in our main class. Our main class is kind of the brains for all the screens, the main screen class, right? Just like how the provider is the brains for all the storage. Here we're going to leverage our store. So let's go ahead and import store here from /provider, capital P, just like that. So as you can see in our app.js class, we called import provider from provider. Now we can access the store component and utilize that. So a few things we can just go ahead and import is, oh, we don't need to import it, that's fine. If you guys want to do it like that, you can. So we've got splash, login, register, create, home. So let's bring in, so we've got is empty actually, yeah. So let's bring in, no, we don't need that yet, that's fine. We'll create that method. Right, so we've got loading. Right, so this, you see how this stuff here is very similar to our state. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and type const state and dispatch equals react.use context, and we'll provide store in there. So now what we're actually doing is we are pulling state and dispatch from the store that we imported, and that state and dispatch is being provided from the value here, and of course all of that is part of this reducer. So we don't need to do set is loading anymore, we can just get rid of this. And here we've got is loading. We can change that to state.isLoading. We can change user to state.user. And we've got all of that, that's fine. Let's have a look. Right, and then there's a few things we can do in the login. In the options, we can give it an animation type for replace, and we can say state.isAuth push and then pop. This just makes it look a little nicer when you're logging in and out from authenticated to unauthenticated screens. Let's see anything else? Yep. Right, so what we're going to do is we'll add our react.useEffect method again here. We'll leave it empty, and we're going to create a new file inside of actions, and we're going to call that our what do we call that? Our auth.js file. So let's go ahead and create all of these files now. Auth.js, errors.js, add that, index.js, to-dos, let me just click remember, yeah. And we've got all of them, that's fine. Now let's go ahead and structure all the methods. We don't need to fill them in just yet, but we can go ahead and structure them now, and then we can fill them in the next video. So in our auth.js, let's go ahead and create an export const restore user method. So arrow function like that. Do the same for, well, we can just duplicate these for now. Just like that. We have about 4 of them. Yep, that's fine. Give them some spacing. So the next one will be called register user, and login user, and logout user. So restore user will do the logic of checking to see if the user is currently logged in, right, persisting, and then it'll log them in. If they're not, it'll just go to the unauthenticated screens. Register user is once you click register, it'll sign up an account, save it, and log them in. Login user will log them in, assuming the account details are correct, and logout user will log them out. So let's go to our errors folder, that's fine. And inside of here, we'll do export const set errors. Just do arrow function for now, just like that. Go into to-dos, we'll do index as last. And inside of the to-dos, let's go ahead and do export, or we can go ahead and paste those ones we've got already. I need 3 of those. So get to do items, save to do items, and delete to do item. Oh, sorry, this is without an S here. Save to do item, get to do item. So get to do items will retrieve all the to do items related to the user that requested them. Save to do item will store it into our local storage. So in this case, a sync storage. And delete to do item will remove it. So we've got our types, that's fine. We don't need that. So let's go to index.js. Now index.js, I've just added this to make it easier for importing and for importing really. So what we can do is go ahead and import restore user, register user, basically all the functions we just created. Let's go ahead and import those. Just like that, and then import get to do items, save to do items, delete to do items, and last one is set errors. Yep, cool. And then we're literally just going to export them straight after. So just like that. Let's do login first so it stays consistent. And then here we can do get to do items. Yep. So the reason I'm importing it and exporting it like this is just so when we're calling it in the other classes, we can just import it directly from the index.js file rather than going into these classes. Yeah, cool. So here inside of our main.js class, go ahead and import restore user. There we go. So as you can see, it just does /actions. We don't need to do /auth. And here we'll go ahead and call restore user dispatch. But that will throw an error because we don't have any logic in there, but we'll add that soon. Let's real quickly, go into the provider.js, and what we can do is do /actions here, and let's go into our index.js file, and we'll go ahead and import and export those as well. So import what are they called, restore user login. Yeah, let's do that. So restore user login, logout, set to do, set errors, and then we can go ahead and export those as well. So restore user login, logout. Yep, just like that. And then those should still call in the provider. Yep. So now it's just easier to recall those if needed. So I'm gonna end it here, but next video we'll start to create the logic in all of these action files. So I'll catch you guys there. Thanks for watching.